And we are joined by the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Nick Saban. And Coach, we appreciate your time so immensely. And I'll just ask this at the top. What are the Silver and Black getting in Henry Ruggs III as the player?
Well, I think first of all, you're getting a great person. You're getting a guy that has great competitive character, really hard worker, and very, very explosive, talented guy. He's got great hands. He's got great speed. He's a great special teams player, which is unusual sometimes for guys that play receiver, that he's a gunner. He can cover kickoffs. He's got a lot of mental and physical toughness about him relative to the position. So I think he's definitely what you would categorize as a speed receiver, a guy that can really get on top of people, a guy that's great, running straight line routes, but he drops his weight and gets out of breaks, pretty good too. So, but I think what you're getting is a really good person, a hard worker, somebody that is going to be a great teammate, that's going to get along well with all the people that he plays with.
I'm glad you brought up his personality. I'm going to ask you about that in just a second. But we've heard so much about that speed that Henry has. It's kind of been his calling card throughout this draft process. But what aspect of his game are we not talking enough about? What aspects of his game is he, I don't want to say underrated, but are people not fully appreciative of at this point?
Well, I think it's probably just mental and physical toughness. I mentioned that earlier, but never complains about not getting the ball, glad to do whatever you ask him to do, whether he's got to go block somebody on a running play or an RPO or whatever it is. So I think the thing that people aren't talking about is the competitive character and toughness that the guy has.
And Josh is obviously going to be very excited. Not only does he have his old buddy back, but we've talked to a lot of people over the past 12, 24 hours about what a guy that has speed like Henry can do for the running game, because all of a sudden now a defensive coordinator has to account for a guy with his speed. So having Henry out wide, what do you think that will do or has the ability to do for the Silver and Black's ground attack in 2020?
Well, I think, having balance on offense is always really important. And I know that's something that, the Raiders probably believe in, and Hal John's trying to build his program. And, all the great running backs we had here, we always had a great receiver that sort of went with them. When Julio Jones was here, Mark Ingram was a tailback. And, you can go through the years and just try to map that out, and it always works that way. And I think they complement one another, because if you really want to stop the run, you want to put an extra guy in the box all the time. So you got to play single high coverage, which leaves one-on-one coverage outside. If you want to stop outside people, you want to play more split safety type coverages, which now you don't have an extra guy in the box, so it's easier to run the ball. So, I think having guys like that complement one another is probably the beginning of really developing a very effective offense.
Coach Saban, we appreciate your time so much, and I'll get you out of here on this. We'll have a little bit of fun. Henry made quite an impact last night when they went to his live shot at his house wearing the robe. What did you think of his look for one of the biggest moments of his life, rocking the robe? He looked good. He looked comfortable. He looked like a guy who was ready to take that next step, I thought.
Look, we pride ourselves here in, guys trying to create value for themselves by the brand that they develop. And I think Henry's got a great brand, and I was kind of interested to see the look. It was different, and he looked good.
And I think he'll look a lot better in silver and black come game day. Well, Coach Saban, we thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy man, so we thank you so sincerely for carving out a few minutes for us.
All right, thanks. Good luck.